Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Today is a day that I haven't really even thought about for the last 10 months. I have spent the last, I think 8 to 10 months telling everyone what I believed about Ripple and XRP, and telling everyone what I believed about what is going to happen with the cryptocurrency market in general. And today is one of those days where you look at it and you almost want to come to tears, because not because you didn't think this was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, but at the same time, I feel like I don't know, those of you that have seen Rocky 4, I kind of feel like Rocky after about 7 rounds with Ivan Drago in the Rocky 4. I believe that was Rocky 4. He looked like he was about dead. But I feel like for the last 8 to 10 months, I've been fighting an uphill battle of all types of negativity, and a lot of just questions, but then some really nasty negativity. But I never have doubted for a minute, but it's still, you see all those things. And then when you get to something like this, there's a part of you that wants to say, I told you so, but that's not what I'm here to tell you. What I'm here to tell you is that today is nothing. What we're seeing right now is just a tiny, tiny little blip as compared to what you're going to see. XRP is going to create literally thousands of millionaires, and titans will be born out of this. Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse will literally be titans as they come out of this. And I want to make this point to you all. There's many new people who have subscribed to my channel. And so for those of you that have been with me for the last 8 or 9 months, I appreciate that. And I hope that you don't get frustrated with me when some of the things I go over are things that I've shown you before. We now have an audience of many more people, and I want to make sure they understand how huge what they're a part of is. And for that reason, I'm doing this video today. This 52% increase, this has been as high as 80% in the last 24 hours for XRP. We're back down a little bit, but we had surpassed Ethereum. Before this is all over, this XRP will pass Ethereum and it will pass Bitcoin. But today we passed Ethereum after months and months of being behind Ethereum. But what I want to talk to you about is the bigger picture. I love talking about the big picture, especially on a day when there's all this euphoria that everybody is experiencing right now. And I am too, don't get me wrong. I am giddy about what is going on in the market, and I'm getting tons of emails from people about how excited they are. But the truth is, we've been up anywhere from 50 to 80% today, and we're still on the roller coaster. We're gonna ride this thing. We're gonna ride up, down, but the ultimate destination is what you should keep your eyes on. And I'm going to talk to you about the ultimate destination today as we go along. I want you to keep in mind, yesterday I think we were up 20 or so percent, and I was not all that excited. And the reason I wasn't was because the new money was not coming in. This had remained at around $200 billion in the total crypto market yesterday, and for that reason I was not all that pumped up, because there was not new money coming into the system. It was more just money from other cryptos that was being shuffled into XRP, and I think that reason was because of the rumors of Ripple's product XRapid that uses XRP coming online in the next month. I believe that's what that was. Today, I believe, is something different. There are rumors right now going on about how this, because of the volume spikes that are going on, this could be the XRapid being tested right now, and I'll show you an article on that in a minute. But first, especially to those of you that have not listened to me much and you haven't been here as much, I want you to see and look very closely at what I'm talking about here, because I've told my audience this several times, and I'm going to tell you, I want you to really make this sink in and understand this. I want you to imagine that you own a popular, let's use Amazon. You're an Amazon stockholder, okay? And let's say Amazon is a 5-year-old company and they've just gone public, and you own this stock. Well, let's say they have not gone public. You own their stock. You bought their stock for let's use Ripple's price. So let's say you own their stock at 56 cents. And then someone tells you, okay, the New York Stock Exchange does not exist yet. You own this stock, but it's about to go public. And not only is it going to go public, but we're about to create a New York Stock Exchange. We're about to create a NASDAQ. The countries of the world are about to create their own versions of the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. And there are going to be literally hundreds, if not thousands, of new exchanges that are going to open up. But you own your Amazon stock at 56 cents before any of that happens. And then when they open those, at the same time, they're going to come up with investment vehicles that are unknown right now that will come about, including ETFs, mutual funds, hedge funds will be created out of this. Futures will be created out of this. But you, my friend, get to own your Amazon stock at 56 cents before any of that happens. And hey, I'm going to throw in a little bonus. I didn't tell you this, but at 56 cents with your Amazon stock, guess what? Your Amazon stock also has a thing called utility. And utility is when there can actually be money that flows through that Amazon stock. And I'm not talking about a little bit of money. I'm talking about as much as $27 trillion, which is what the market is that Ripple's going after. Okay? And on top of that, just with this one company, Ripple, that is going to use your Amazon stock to flow money through it, and they may or may not be successful, but if they're 10% successful, there will be $2.7 trillion flowing through your Amazon stock, on top of the money that's coming from all of those exchanges that are going to be opened and those investment vehicles. And then on top of that, there's going to be other companies born that we don't even know about, and they're also going to flow money through your Amazon stock. If I told you that, there's not one thing on this planet that would keep you from investing in Amazon stock. Well, what I just described to you is what XRP is. Okay? That is what XRP is. XRP is the greatest digital asset ever created, and it has more potential to have more money flowing through it than any digital asset that exists, including Bitcoin. And they are within a month of going live with the first use case, which is the use case Ripple has been going after, which is payment companies and banks moving money around the world through XRP. There are thousands of use cases to come that haven't even been talked about yet, or maybe they've been talked about but they haven't been created, and they're coming too. But in the meantime, you can buy XRP at 56 cents, and yes, people made 52 to 80% in the last 24 hours on XRP, and I'm here to tell you that is nothing. When XRP realizes its true potential, there will be thousands of millionaires and there will be titans created, and I named two of them for you, Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse. Now, let me show you that I'm not the only person that believes this. This is the guy who runs one of the biggest crypto exchanges that there are. He thinks that the crypto market the market cap may hit 1 trillion. Now remember, it's 222 billion. It's added 22 billion over the last 24 hours. It was at 200 billion yesterday. He thinks it could hit 1 trillion. What would that do for your digital asset investment? Next, The Ethereum and the Cardano founders, those are two of the largest crypto digital assets in the top 10. They believe that cryptocurrency will become a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Remember, we're at 222 billion now. What does that do for your digital asset? This is the Cardano co-founder saying the same thing. Tens of trillions of dollars will be added to crypto. The Winklevoss twins, remember, those of you that don't know, these are the guys that said that they were the ones that created Facebook. They went to Harvard with Mark Zuckerberg, then eventually sued Mark Zuckerberg, and they became famous from that whole lawsuit and everything. These guys run the Gemini Exchange, which is one of the bigger cryptocurrency exchanges, and they predict that there will be a multi-trillion-dollar value for Bitcoin. Well, if Bitcoin gets that, XRP is going to get a lot of that too. And I believe they are more than right. This is Mike Novogratz, who is a billionaire, and he is big in the cryptocurrency space, and he's run hedge funds. He believes that it's going to be a $20 trillion market cap. Now, this is where I enter the picture in my prediction. I have said all along, the cryptocurrency space will hit $20 to $100 trillion in market cap. And I always use the example of the dot-com bubble. The dot-com bubble, remember, dot-com was the internet of information. That was the first time in the world that we could go to Google and we could type in Google whatever we wanted to know about. And within 3 to 4 seconds, we would find out whatever we wanted to know. We could just type it in 3 to 4 seconds. We are now dealing with the internet of value that Chris Larson calls it all the time, internet of value. In other words, we're talking about the internet of money now. This is bigger than the internet. When the internet reached its peak in 2000 or so, there have been estimates it reached anywhere from 6 to 13 trillion. The most common number I see is around 9 trillion. Well, 9 trillion in today's dollars would probably be 20 trillion anyway. But we're talking about the internet of value. In other words, the internet of money. And it's bigger than the internet of information, because that's what money is. Money is the biggest thing in the world. So Mike Novogratz believes we're going to a $20 trillion market cap. Let's see what other people say. Okay, this guy is Dan Moorhead. He's the founder of Pantera Capital. Okay. He invests in all kinds of cryptocurrency related companies. He believes the market's going to 40 trillion. And that probably is a conservative estimate right there. That's probably more about in line with what I don't think there's any way we don't get to that place, somewhere between 20 and 40. But guess what? Tim Draper has predicted anywhere from 80 to 100 trillion dollars in market cap for the cryptocurrency space. Now, in all of those scenarios, any of you that are invested right now will do tremendously well, and it will be life-changing money. I don't believe there's a scenario in any of this where our lives do not change for those of us that have been in this. Especially before the last week's run up, I don't see a scenario for any of us where we are not extremely pleased with where this all goes. I want to finish by showing you, actually before I show you that, I was going to show you this. XRP surges by 59% with 10 times volume. The XRP volume has gone up by 10 times in the last 24 hours, okay? And there's been a lot of rumors about this being XRapid testing, but the point is that it doesn't matter what it is, because XRapid is going live within the next month. It doesn't matter if it's people that are buying in anticipation of XRapid going live, or if this is XRapid testing, because in the scheme of things, Ripple is about to be the first company, and XRP will be the first digital asset to ever be used in production by actual companies in real life in the history of the world. And before, after, and during that happening, there's going to be millions of dollars made. And so if you're not in, get in. I wanted to show you this quote to finish here. And this is by Steve Jobs. I don't know if I can scroll this all the way down. I think I messed up here, but the only thing you're not seeing is part of Steve Jobs' name. The ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. That couldn't be more true. Next, I want to give a shout out. I've never given a shout out to her, but I'm going to do it today. Crypto Arey is a YouTuber that's out of Japan. Now, those of you that don't know, Japan is one of the most important countries for Ripple and XRP because SBI Holdings in Japan owns 10.5% of Ripple, and they formed SBI Ripple Asia, and they are literally working with 80% of the banks in Japan to get them up and running using Ripple and eventually XRP. Crypto Arey is our, I guess you would call her the reporter in Japan. She's able to read the news coming out of Japan and give us the updates coming out of Japan. So she's a very valuable person in the Ripple community. And so Japan, and this is the way I've put it in the past, SBI Ripple Asia is our bird in the hand as XRP investors, because we have a CEO of SBI Holdings over there who has every incentive in the world as a banker, and he's in charge of 80% of the banks over there. He is literally an XRP baton holder, and if anyone is going to help bring XRP into fruition, the CEO of SBI Holdings and SBI Ripple Asia will. And we can get that news from Crypto Arey. And so if you aren't subscribed to her, go subscribe. She had sent me a message this morning. I didn't even know she listened to me. She had sent me a message this morning asking me to do be on like a panel. And I thanked her for it, but it's not for right now. I enjoy just doing my videos, and a lot of these YouTubers are good at doing the panels and doing the live streams, but that's not really my bag right now. I enjoy doing the videos and putting them up, and then I really appreciate all of you that subscribe to my channel, and I really enjoy it. But go subscribe to Crypto Arey. She's really good at what she does. Also, if you haven't gotten your Ledger Nano S, I have a saying that my brother gave me, and that is that if you don't have your Ledger Nano S or a Ledger Blue yet, all of this is for nothing, because this is the only way to securely store your digital assets offline. And trust me, when the markets start going crazy the way they are right now, that's when the hackers come out. That's when they start going after these exchanges, because the exchanges where some people store their digital assets, they get overloaded during these times, and that's when these hackers attack them. I've seen it happen time and time again. So go get your Ledger Blue or your Ledger Nano S, and I really appreciate you guys listening. I am the digital asset investor. I am not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. I want you all to have a great weekend. I'm going to try to put up one more video today, but I really appreciate it, and maybe we'll go into the weekend and just have more and more of the gains. But keep this in mind, regardless of how it goes here in the next few days. The big picture is all that matters. All these ups and downs and daily stuff, none of that matters. What matters is the next, say, 6 months to 5 years. But it's not going to be long. In my opinion, it's more like 6 months to 2 years. And do not sell yourself short, because this is a world-changing thing you're a part of. Thank you for listening.